So AI has been everywhere lately, and it is crazy. From art to profile pictures, essays, coding. It got me wondering about recipes. So what we're gonna do is ask AI just to give me a recipe, and then we'll cook that. And it gave me spaghetti with meatballs. Now, looking at this recipe, it looks pretty solid. Minus some herbs and spices that I might use in one or making a panade. It looks really good. There's two flaws in this recipe that I can see though, is one of them, they don't sear off the meatballs and they don't reserve any pasta water. So I'm going to do those two amendments to this recipe, but keep everything else pretty much the same. All right, well, looks like we're set. So let's get to it. So I used 80-20 beef because I figured it needed that extra bit of fat. Then I cracked an egg and some breadcrumbs, grated a bunch of Parmesan on top of that, and then finally chopped some parsley and put that in. I seasoned it with salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Then I mixed it all together, and once it came together, I formed it into 1-inch balls. More like 1.5, but who's measuring? And then AI didn't say this, but sear them off over medium-high heat. It gives it color and adds a depth of flavor. Reserve those to the side once you're done. And back to the AI recipe. Chop up some onions and put that in the pan. And add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Cook that for about 5 minutes until translucent. And another thing they didn't say was caramelize your tomato paste before tossing in your crushed tomatoes. Let that simmer for about 15 minutes and add back in your meatballs. All right, I couldn't help myself. I had to season the sauce because it needed it. Let that simmer until the meatballs are cooked through while you get your pasta water ready. Season it with salt and then add your spaghetti. Cook that until it's al dente. The best way to tell if pasta is done is by tasting it. Make sure to reserve some pasta water. Then toss your meatballs and sauce into the pasta, add a little bit of pasta water, heat that through to finish cooking, and you're ready to serve. Grab a plate, garnish it with some basil and some more Parmesan, and enjoy. So the final verdict on this recipe is, I'm not really sure. It's pretty good. It's decent. It's average. It's a little above average, actually. The meatballs were kind of dry. I tried to combat that, but you needed to add some pork or something to it. The sauce, it was good. It was a little acidic, but besides that, it was pretty decent. All in all, I would give this a 6 out of 10. With a few tweaks to your personal preference, I think this could be a pretty solid dish.